Hello, this is Anthony from 518 Sound, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a vocal sidechaining technique. This will help the vocal stay clear and upfront while using effects like delay and reverb. For this demonstration I'm using Luna by Universal Audio, but this will also work in any DAW. Let's get right into it. Here we have a vocal track. Now that vocal track is sending to a bus. This bus is labeled a delay. On this bus track, or in other DAWs it's known as an auxiliary track, we have an instance of the Galaxy Tape Echo by UAD. Now let's listen to it. Listen to the way that the delay sounds as I turn up the volume.
This is the first trip around the sun without you here, and that was the last thing that came to.
Okay, so you'll notice as I increase the volume of the delay, the vocal starts to sound washed out. So what I really want to have the intense effect of this delay, but I don't want it to get in the way of my vocal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sidechain, and let me show you how to do this. First, you're going to need a compressor. I like to use our compressor by Waves, since I can really fine-tune the attack and release times, which you're going to want to be able to do for this exercise. Now, we want to set up the sidechain. Luna makes this really easy. Right up in this utility row here, you have the sidechain input. Now I'll hit the plus arrow. I'll select my lead vocal. So now my lead vocal is the sidechain to this delay track. So what is happening, every time that the lead vocal plays, it's going to send a signal to this compressor. This compressor is going to turn on only when the vocal is going, and that's going to allow the delay to duck and make room for the vocal. So let's dial in the compressor settings to get what we want.
This is the first trip around the sun without you here, and that was the last thing that came to my mind for a change. You can say I'm growing, and you can say I've healed. Just let me smile.
Okay, you notice how the delay actually ducks and leaving the vocal up front. Now another way you can do this is without going up to the utility row. You can do this by clicking this sidechain icon on the plugin itself, and then select your sidechain input. So and it is this way in Logic as well. In Pro Tools it's known as the key input. So you're going to want to select whatever source that you're going to want up front as the key input for the compressor. Alrighty, so I'm going to make this sound a little bit more musical. What I can actually do is I can sync this release time of the compressor right to the tempo of the track. Now to figure that out, I'm going to use this website called TuneForm. Now this is a really great tool. What you can do is enter in your beats per minute, and this is going to give you your millisecond value in all of these different note denominations. This will allow you to set up the timing of delays, reverbs, and compressor release times. So I'm going to want a pretty quick release time, so I'm going to go to the lowest note denomination that I can see here, which is 11 milliseconds. So what's nice about this plugin is I can just type this in. Let's type in 11 milliseconds. Let's listen to it.
This is the first trip around the sun without you here, and that was the last thing that came to my mind for a change.
Alright, definitely sounding more musical. If I want to make it a little bit quicker, let's go 6.5.
This is the first trip around the sun without you here, and that was the last thing that came to my mind for a change.
Alright, notice the delay is ducking. So another trick here is to use an EQ. Now I'll use a 2-band EQ. I'll put this right after the delay. Basically what I'm going to be doing is getting rid of all the low end and all of the high end. This way the delay won't muddy up the mix or clash with the other instruments.
This is the first trip around the sun without you here, and that was the last thing that came to my mind for a change.
Okay, so you've heard it with the delay. Now let's check out and see what it sounds like with the reverb. Let's go to the Lexicon 24. I love this reverb. So Let's turn this compressor off so you can hear it without it first.
This is the first trip around the sun without you here. And that was the last thing that came to my mind for a change.
So it sounds pretty cool, but let's listen to what it sounds like with the sidechaining enabled.
This is the first trip around the sun without you here. And that was the last thing that came to my mind for a change.
I absolutely love the way that this sounds. I use this a lot, and a lot of the pros use this as well. So now, there you have it, vocal sidechaining technique. I will put the link to the website in the description below, so that way you can save this as a bookmark and you can have this BPM to milliseconds calculator. Well, thank you for checking out 518 Sound. Please like and subscribe below for more videos like this. Take care.